Actual juiced scav run, man. We made like 500k that rate easily. If you guys have any questions, I am live daily on Twitch. You're always welcome to stop by and ask. Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you my personal favorite scav route to run. Very little risk involved, and on average, I make 500k roughly a run, depending on if you get a bag. I normally tend to skip weather station, hit that stash right under the bridge. That is the first loot spot, is that little stash under the bridge by the tank. After that stash, you typically want to run straight to power. The biggest thing, like I mentioned, is finding a bag. Like you can see right now, there's dead scavs here. There's also a few live scavs. This dead scav was the sniper scav. He had a Mosin with a bunch of PS ammo. Well, that PS ammo I ended up selling for like 1,100 rubles a piece. And it's like, it's little things like that, like that a PMC doesn't care about, that you will make huge bucks off of on a scav run. And so obviously while you're here, you're not only looking for dead scavs to get a bigger bag, but there's inside of the power station, there's a duffel bag, 2 jackets, and 3 toolboxes, which are all shown in this video here. You want to make sure you run across the main bridge when you leave power, because right on the other side of it, there's a little entrenchment where there's actually a grenade box. So now that you looted your nade box across the road, you're going to want to run back towards bus depot. Right, the way I always find it is it's right in the bush just off the back corner of this big rock to my left. There was a PMC off to the right there. At least I'm pretty sure it was either a PMC or a player scav. Keep running, keep looting. At that point, I already had almost a full bag. We're scavving here strictly for money. Okay, after you loot that stash, you're going to want to move and work your way up to the bus depot. On the back side here along the fence by the tree, there's a stash here. So you're going to want to start with that. And then after you loot this stash, you're going to want to make your way into the back. If you don't already have a bag, if you either A, didn't spawn one or didn't find one at power, another great place that PMCs will typically kill scavs and leave bags, so you can find day packs and scav bags and whatnot. Plus, there's the dead scav you can loot inside. There are some filing cabinets. I personally skip them because I don't think it's worth the time to loot them unless I absolutely have any loot. There's also 2 jackets in that back room that you can loot as well. Sometimes loose loot will spawn here where I find this tube, like different stuff you can find in toolboxes, for example, like that tube. After you loot the back of the bus depot, you want to make your way kind of diagonally across to over where there's the abandoned truck in the field up over this hill here. After you hit this stash, you're going to want to continue down towards where the swamp area is. So the main goal with this scav run, and the big end goal here, is you always want to end up in the swamp, because there's a huge cluster of loot, being stashes, toolboxes. There's just a huge cluster that almost never gets looted, ever. Other than sometimes by other scavs, depending on how late into the raid you are. But most time I never find it looted. And so right here is the other stash that I was talking about. It's just before the swamp on the ridge. This one's also another harder one to find. It's right on the ridge line. And then you're going to go down the ridge. You're going to work your way out to the back here where the church is in the swamp. And there's another stash right off the back left corner. So then you're going to want to make your way inside the church. Make sure you loot this toolbox in here. Then you're going to want to make your way down the path. Go straight down through the middle of Swamp Town. And you're going to want to go off to the left here, because there's this one abandoned building here on the far left. Another stash hidden in there. Now after we're done looting that stash, we're going to make our way back kind of to the main path. We're going to continue running on. And now this first house on the right, as we're continuing down, inside of here, there's one toolbox on the outside, and then there's one on the inside when you go in the very beginning. As well as there's an ammo box in the main room and a green weapon box. So inside of this final house, there's a jacket right on the entrance when you go in. You're gonna wanna make sure you hit that. As well as the tables inside of here all have loose loot spawns on them, which I showed. And then in this little side room, stuff can spawn on the bed, for example, the players. This is the main route I run, and there really was no reason to go check anything else this raid, because as you could see from my run, I was already full. I already had every slot filled, and at that point I'd be min-maxing for pennies to the point where it's not even worth it. But you can go loot the town next as well if you have time. So easily that raid was upwards of around 500k-ish, and then a couple of the extra items like the labs keycard and some of that stuff that I didn't really factor into the price because I'm not selling it, I'm gonna use it. This game is so fun, dude. I'd recommend this to all my friends. Apple, you should buy Tarkov. There you go. You should play Tarkov, Apple. This game's so fun. So fun. Love this game. This game's so fun. Just fuck it. Buy EOD right away. The best game on the planet. Oh. Alright, well, you know, yeah. Okay.